I wanted to have this discussion with you, and I wish we had more time to really drill down into it, because I want to get down into some real feelings about where you are, where we are. A couple of you said optimistic, and that was the word I was going to use, optimistic. I think that we are at a real inflection point in our nation. And I think that this is the time. People talk about the young people being the church of tomorrow, and I personally think they're the church now. That now is the moment for you to step into your position and to lead our nation, our churches, our businesses, our communities into the next generation. Now is the time for you to take all the things that you have learned and been exposed to, and to take your position and to change things for the better. That you are in a privileged time right now. When I mean privileged, I mean you have the power of the internet. You have the power of the internet. We literally have people who have become famous over the internet, right? You can get on the internet and play a song and suddenly become the wildest thing that's out there. Yep. That's the power of the internet. that you literally have the power to be in your living room or in your kitchen and say something, and your voice reverberate around the world, and millions of people will grab hold of what you're saying and connect with that. You have the power to drive the narrative. You're not in the baby carriage anymore. All right, nobody's carrying you around their back anymore. It is your time, and it is your turn to make things different and to make things better. Whether it's in your community or in your church. One of the things, because I'm in church and I'm a pastor, one of the things that I'm always passionate about is watching the young people come off the back pews and come up front. Take this microphone from me. Take this stage from me. It's your turn, right? It's no longer being a spectator. It's being a participator. The civil rights movement was effective because it was mostly young people who were at the forefront of that. Now, those young people are now old people. But this is your literal civil rights moment. This is your moment to your church can look like anything you want. You can become involved in the direction of the word. Like you were talking about with your leadership at your church. You can literally change the direction of the worship, of the leadership, of the styles, of the inclusion, of the diversion. You can literally get involved in protesting, whether it be marching or whether it be on the internet, and change the course, the direction of things that are happening. You are blessed right now to have this moment that God, I think that God is strategic. I think that none of us is born before time or after time, that you are born at the right time and in the right place. And I believe that even through all the things that we're experiencing, anytime there's a great revolution like this in a nation, it is right on the heels of a great revival. That God's about to visit our country with his presence and with this power, and all this unrest and uncertainty and things that are happening in society. It's like birth pains for a mother. Yeah, it's like birth pains. That baby's about to come. And what's going to come out of this are individuals who are in touch with their Creator, in touch with their God. That it's not just protests, it's not just police reform, it's not just angry feelings in black and white, but I believe that God is calling all of us to a closer connection with him. And through our connection with him, we're going to change our nation from the inside out. You cannot legislate behavior. Cannot legislate behavior. There has to be a real heart change. I can put laws in place that will protect me until your heart changes. But what we really need is a change in hearts, a change in how we see God, a change in how we do church. Church can't be some place you visit anymore. Church has to be who you are. It has to be in here. Church can't be 705 Rivergate or 8th Avenue. Church is in you. And when we get together at a building like this and we worship collectively, I don't think that the church looks like it's supposed to until there's every nation and every color and every worship style and every background in one place worshiping the one God. I feel like preaching. I don't believe it's a millennial church and an old school church. I think that in order for it to look right, it's going to have to be everybody. Yeah. That everybody's going to have to be in one place at one time singing praise to God. And if you don't think I'm right, open your Bible to the book of Revelations and you will see the voices of all the nations and all the people and all the colors and all the background of all the ages coming together and worshiping our God. I don't mean to get preachy on you, but you got it. I'm here for it. You follow what I'm saying? And I just believe it. And I'm going to say this. I just believe that, and I wish we had more time because I really want to just get down into it. Maybe I can invite y'all back and we'll talk some more. Yeah. I really want to see you guys begin to let God use you, your education, your background, your exposure, your perspective to begin to drive the narrative of this nation. Your faith right now is the most important thing that you have. It is critical. It is critical as you begin to start having kids, start raising families, that you begin to drive the narrative of our nation through the things that you are teaching your children. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Hear what I said? The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. What you're teaching them, what you're putting in them, what you're sharing with them, how you're molding them and shaping them is going to be the thing that's going to shape where this nation goes and how we do it. I'm looking for the day that this church, that this ministry be overrun with people your age. Everywhere. Singing, dancing, preaching, praying, working, administrating, witnessing, evangelizing, running the business, and not just in this building, but in this community. Yeah. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for all of you and all of them that look like you to be involved. So I think my sister said her one word was destruction, right? I want to see where everybody comes out with a sense of optimism, that we can make a difference and that we can make a change. Listen, you're watching me on the internet, and I'm so glad that you eavesdropped in on our conversation. We could have talked about a whole lot more, but I'm just glad that you took this time to share with us, and thank you for allowing me to use my pulpit time to have real conversation. You know, preachers, we like talking. we like controlling the show. We like being in the mic, but I hope that I created an opportunity to hear other voices who are just as relevant and just as important. And even as you're watching me over the internet, I want to challenge you to attach yourself and catch on to what I just told these young people sitting around me. This is your moment. This is your time. For many of you, you've been on quarantine and you felt like I've been shut down and that there's no place for me, and you've just been so anxious to get back out into the world that you have not considered why God has even pulled us aside as a nation and as a world to have that time with Him so He can prepare you for what shall be. I want to challenge you as our economy begins to open up and as our churches are preparing to open up, I want to challenge you to be the kind of person that's going to have a deeper commitment to your God and have a deeper commitment to where you serve and where you operate in the church. There's going to come a time we're going to be back in our buildings. We're going to be singing again and dancing again and worshiping again and giving and all those great things. But at the end of the day, what really is going to matter is that you impact your generation. I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for all of these, that God will use you in this time to impact your generation, because is it possible that God has called you for such a time as this? Look, that's my time. I love you. You're a superstar. I'll be preaching on Wednesday. I'll be preaching next Sunday. God bless. Talk to you later.